And once we know that the streams are working, we will begin. What will we begin? We're not entirely sure. Okay, so Tetris 99. So, as always, I'm going to play some Tetris 99 and see if I can get this going well. So, I'm going to get this so that I can go into the top 3. Yesterday I went into the top 3. I'm going to see if I can get to number 1 on Tetris 99. So it's going to find lots of other players as long as my internet is working. If not, I will play something else, and that will be the end of my time playing Tetris 99. So it says it's matching other players. And, okay, so this is weird. So the internet is definitely streaming, but I can't see that my Switch is connecting to the internet. Ah, an error has occurred. No! So, look at this. I was so excited to play Tetris 99. Obtaining data. What is this doing to me? This is a terrible way to begin. Let's press that. Okay. Let's share this. And get this shared to Extreme Improv. So it says matching. I think we may be stuck. Oh no. So I don't know why my Switch is playing up. So if I'm not going to play this, I will play something else. Come on, Tetris. An error has occurred. An error has occurred, guys. This is tragic. This is tragic to my plans here. So what can I do? Marathon? So, okay, let's just... Ugh, that doesn't look fun. Let's get this really difficult so I can try this again in a few minutes. Ugh, okay, so I wasn't paying attention and now it's being really cruel to me. Okay, can I do this in the absence of being able to play against other people? And the answer is yes. Okie dokie. Okay, let's pop that there. Pop that there. And that one goes there, and that goes there. And boom! Swap that out. And oh my gosh, it's going all wrong. It's going all wrong. It's going all incredibly wrong. Ah, look at that. That was a big mistake, and that's a big mistake, and that's a big mistake. And lots of mistakes, but we correct some of our mistakes. So, just as Batman told us, it's not about falling down or something, it's about learning to pick yourself back up. So, there we go. Let's put that there. We're back in business. I don't want to be playing non-online Tetris for this stream, but I've not been given much choice. So, let's just play a little bit of this until I get well and truly bored of it. And that'll do. Okay, are we back to the races? And here we go. So many things I needed to set up on the stream as well that I haven't set up yet. But we'll just do this for a minute. So it looks like I'm getting dangerously close to dying. Look at that, that was a big error. But I just wanted to get that Tetris. So I'm not doing too badly. In fact, some might say I'm doing rather well. Don't know who that person would be, but if there's someone out there that says I'm doing rather well, I appreciate it. That was bad. I'm making so many mistakes. But this is already as difficult as it can go, so if I'm coping with it to some degree, then I'll be fine. So I've put it on the most difficult difficulty level. So let's get this going. Booyah. See, that was an unfortunate thing to get there. Okay. Tetris. See, it was giving me a warning there, but I was in complete control. I knew what I was doing all the time, at all times. Because that's what you do when you're a Tetris master. But I am obviously not that. Yes, yes, we know, we know. Big panic mode, big panic mode. Can we get this back to the bottom row? I doubt it, actually. 2 of those in a row. That's tragic. Let's put that there. Oh my gosh. This is everything that could be going wrong. It has gone wrong. Oh, can I get that over there? Only chance. Only chance. Put that there. Put that there. Put that there. Oh, we got a fighting chance here. Not much of one, I'll grant you, but a little bit of a chance. See, look, that's progress. Progress in the right direction. Progress in the right direction. Okay, let's put that down there. And get that there. Get that there. Put this down there. And look at this, I'm halfway back down the board almost. So whereas I was in the danger zone, I am moving away from the danger zone. Oh, that went wrong. That went wrong. Lots of things going wrong all of a sudden, all over again. Let's try and get this course corrected. So that can go there, that can go there, that can go there, that can go there, and try and get this done. So I'll take this opportunity to plug that coming up later in the week, we've got the Extreme Improv XStreamed live comedy show on a Wednesday and Thursday at 8:30 PM UK time, and then we also will have some podcasts coming up, some that have been pre-recorded, some that haven't been recorded. If you're a pro wrestling fan, I suggest you check out the Superkick Mania Pro Wrestling podcast. If you're a fan of video games, then that probably explains why you're watching this, but check out the Games Monster podcast that we do. And, ooh, where should that go? And if you're a fan of movies, check out the Mega Movie podcast. If you're just a general fan of improv, check out the Extreme Improv podcast. We've got the Extreme Improv podcast Radio Rumble show, which is like a comedy show. We've got the Extreme Improv Skills show. We need to do a new episode of that this week, but that's where you can learn about some improv skills. The next episode we'll have coming up will be about virtual improv. And we may even have some classes and things of that coming up in the near future too. Okay, so finally getting things back to normal here. Okay, pop that there. Pop that there. And that can go there. And that can go there. And that's going to have to go there, even though that was kind of a silly place to put that. That can go there, and oof, that goes there. That can go there, which makes sense. And yeah. So if you're watching this, I want to know, what are your earliest memories of Tetris? Hello. Someone's just said hi in the comments. Mark. Hello, Mark. How are you doing? Are you a Tetris player? So, Bosh. If you're watching this on Facebook, feel free to check us out on Twitch or YouTube or Twitter or Mixer, whichever is your favourite video game streaming platform. I think I like Twitch, but I also like YouTube. They're all good. Facebook's cool as well, but I haven't got things set up for Facebook gaming yet, as of yet, but I will in the near future, because I'm new to this world of streaming. Look at that, I'm back to the bottom row. So the longer I've been playing this, it should actually be that I'm finding things difficult, but look at that, I'm actually starting to boss this level, as I believe was the vernacular to say in about 1996. Ooh, that was bad, that was good. Okay, let's pop that there, and pop that there. And that can go there, and that can go there, and that can go there, and that can go there. Didn't get Tetris still, but that's okay. Okay, so let's try and get a Tetris on this soon. Pop this here. That can go there. And that can go there. And so I should be able to get a Tetris relatively soon now. Like right now, Tetris! And see if we can get another Tetris soon. I don't think I will actually. Just because I'm not getting things lining up quite how I'd like them to. Oof, definitely not going to get Tetris. Definitely not going to get Tetris. Fighting for survival now. Fighting for survival. See if we can just start to edge this down the screen. Edge this down the screen. Don't know how I suddenly went so wrong. Okay, still not out the wood. Like, still not quite clearing things enough. Still not clearing things anywhere near enough. Let's just get things cleared. Let's get some things cleared. Okay, so get some aspects of the screen so they are now clear. Okay, okay, get a bit of breathing room. Bit of breathing room around what's going on here. Okay, right, so that's also going well. Okay, good. Great. And let's pop this here. Nice and smooth. Excellent. Sweet. Okay. Ooh, I went bad because I went to check the chat. Shouldn't go to check the chat when it's at this speed level. Now look at all that work I've got to do to get back down to the bottom. But I'm still within good range to get another Tetris sooner rather than later. Pop that there. And that goes there, and that goes there. It's not quite a Tetris, but we're not miles away from getting more Tetri, which maybe the plural for Tetris is. I'm not sure, I'm just making that up. What? Is that 15 levels done? Sweet! Lovely. Congratulations, game clear. Let's go off of that. And now let's just bring up to see if there is any chat, because I've been missing anyone trying to message. So where's the chat gone? Here's the chat. So let's get this, see if we can actually do Tetris 99 the way it was supposed to be done. So, good morning. Let's see, we do have a chat here. It says, "Good morning, world. Hi." I can't read your name just because the letters look maybe Japanese. Okay. Oh, look, it looks like it's going to match. Try T-spin. That gets a lot of points. A T-spin does get a lot of points. So I need to find the good opportunities for doing a T-spin. Okay, but now we're going to be doing proper Tetris, because I think it's going to load. It says, "Get ready." Has it found people, or is this going wrong again? Oh, good. Here we go. Tetris 99. Watch out. And so, I'm going to do the same tactics I was doing yesterday, whereby I just try and clear everything. I'm not going to worry so much about getting all of the Tetrises, although, to begin with, that looks like exactly what I'm going for. Bosh! Tetris. And we'll build up another one here. So, let's get some Tetris going. Oh my gosh, that's not quite what I want. Oh, that's not what I want at all. It's going all wrong. It's going all wrong. Shouldn't be trying to get the Tetris. Should not be trying to get Tetris. Okay, I'm set up to get a Tetris. I just need that straight one. And Tetris. But look at it. Look at the state I've left myself in now. Oh my god, and I went wrong. I went wrong. I'm vulnerable here. I'm vulnerable. I need to start clearing this. I need to start getting this cleared as quickly as I can. A square would go nicely right about now. Gosh, it's going to be embarrassing if I lose this quickly. It's going to be absolute humiliation. I'm going to be degraded. Okay, pop that there, get another one gone. Ooh, let's just start. Can't spend too long lining everything up. Just need to start clearing some stuff. Okay. So look, now I'm going to start getting back into the mode of clearing some stuff. Sometimes this can be an advantage because it means that you can clear lots quite quickly. Except for when you do something like that. Just pop that there. We also want to start clearing things. So now I can pop that there, which only moved one. Okay. Pop that there, and bangarang, as they say in Peter Pan. As Rufio says in Peter Pan in the film Hook, which is a great film. Okay. So I should get another Tetris. Bosh. And if I'm good, which I'm not, but if I were good... Oh no! Communication error! I've been disconnected. I was doing so well. What is up with my internet today? I'm streaming. Obtaining data. What's going on? Why is the Switch messing about? Why is the Switch doing this to me? Because if I'm streaming, then my internet works. If I was to be told off by Nintendo for disconnecting during a match, I would send them this video. Because obviously my internet is working, hence why I'm streaming. And if they say, well, if you weren't streaming, it would work, then that might be a fair point. But yeah, I'm not super duper pleased with that result because I felt like I was doing okay. So I don't know quite what to say about that. So we'll start again. I think I was going to win that one. I think I was going to win the whole thing. I've been robbed. Oh no, communication error. Close this. I'm going to play something else. I can't take the upset. I can't hack it. So we're going to have to give that game up. I'm going to keep the stream going and I'm going to play something else. So I do have Smash Brothers in the machine, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I do not think I'm going to do that. Let's update the title and I'm going to play some Picross because why not? Let's play some Picross and then I don't know what it's called, Picross, and then update that. Wow, gutted, utterly gutted, can't believe it. Let's start this Picross game. I don't even know which Picross it is. So Picross, and it's Lord of the whatever that means. So Picross, Lord of the Nazarick. Picross, Lord of the Nazarick. So this is Picross, Lord of the Nazarick. I like the idea that this was like spooky Picross, but I can't say that I know what this overall is. So, okay, let's just update this to Picross on Mixer. Although it doesn't seem to come up with Picross Lord of the Nazarick, so I'll just put it as Picross S, because that's like the Switch one. Anyone on Mixer will understand that this obviously is how it goes. So gutted. Now who should I call? Didn't I already do this one? Yeah, I've already done all of that. I've done all of that. That is already taken care of. Okay. So let's have a go, see if I've cleared all of these. Evil, okay. Let's do a level we've not done before. And we just need to get all of this all set up. And we're going to do Picross Lord of the Nazarick. No, I will not use the hint roulette. Okay, so welcome to the chat room, Patrick. I think I may have just read your name wrong. Let's just have a look. So what is your name? Patry14. So I'm not getting my Twitch messages through. What is going on with that? Why am I not getting my Twitch messages coming through live? Should do, shouldn't I? So I'm just going to try and monitor this everywhere I can. And let's have a look here. So, welcome to the chat room. Okay. Use the hint roulette. No, we're not going to do that. Okay, so this is how I play Picross. Other people may have other tactics. So I'll see that and I'll go 1. And then I'll know that has to be a gap because there has to be a 1. Then I can count off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that tells me that these could be still part of that 10, but that one has to be part of that 10. So from here I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So those actually have to be part of the 10. And because there's 13 out of 15 here, I know that 13 could be 14, 15, and the same the other side. And so because there's 11 on here, I know it's going to be plus 1 gap, 2, 3, sorry, 1 gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They all have to be part of the 11. So once again, counting down these 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So because there is 1 at the end here, if that was the 1, then there would have to be a gap there. So here I can't tell if these are part of anything because there's 3. I can tell that they're a gap, but I can't tell if that is the 1 there or if that is the 1 there. So we'll leave that because this is part of 5, 3, 4, 5. And because that's part of 7, that means that that has to be part of that as well. Likewise there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then gap. So like, in fact, what does that tell me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that still could be part of the 8. Okay, so we've also got hi. Who has written hi? Mark Hobbs. So we do have the chats coming through. Let's just see if it's working properly. I'm going to try reopening the chat window. For some reason I've got the Restream chat, but it's not working on the Restream chat app. See if we can get things popping up. So feel free to put anything in the chat and I'll figure out why it's not working. But it is working perhaps on Restream itself. So let's see. Can I see the chat on here? Can I see the chat on here? I don't know. See the chats. Oh no, it's going to make me download the chat. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So, ooh, what's going on? It's not messing me up, is it? Is it messing me up? Is it messing me up? I didn't want the live studio situation there. I just wanted to see the chat. The chat would have been good. Okay, let's continue this because time is going on. So, okay, so there has to be 5 there. So that means that that can't be something else. So that tells me that if that's part of the 5, gap 1, 2, gap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That might not be right. I'm going to take some of that off. So 5, gap 1, 2, gap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that now suggests that that's correct. That feels like a gamble. I don't know why, but that feels like I might be wrong about that. So that could be the 1, and that could be 1, 2, 3, 4, which means 1, 2, 3, 4 could be things that are going on there. And if that's got 1 gap, 1 gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then that tells me 1 gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to be a 2, that's going to be a 2, and that's going to be a 1. Because these rows only got 2's in it, that tells me that that is segregated there. And because I know that up here, where it's highlighted now, has got a 3, then I can assume that that one is not anything. So let's have a little look-see what else we can establish. So that's going to have 1, 2, gap 1, 2, 1, 2, gap 1, 2. So they're definitely things. That's definitely a thing, which means that's definitely part of the 11. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've gone wrong. That confirms I've definitely gone wrong somehow. How have I gone wrong? Because that's got to be 1 gap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How is that even possible? Let's check my mistakes. I've gone wrong. Check mistakes. Yes, check mistakes. If there's a lot, oh, that's the only mistake. Fair enough. That's my mistake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I'd highlighted the wrong one. Regardless, I'm going to assume that that's still right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, gap 1. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, which means 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Which means that I know that that's the 11. Which means I know that that's the 8, and that's the 2, and that's also part of the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how I can go wrong. It tells me that that's part of the 13, and that's 14, 15. So that's all of that accounted for. And let's have a look. What else? What else can we see? Is my chat room working? No, it's not. Sorry if I can't see everything coming up on the chat. Still try and do it, and I'll try and monitor it on... I've got YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch that I can monitor on other devices, even though my restream chat isn't working. So that's part of the 3. And that's going to be the 1. So that means that has to be 7 all the way there. 2, so it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gap, and that's 1, 2, and that's gap 1. Excellent. So that's 4, 5, 6. So that means that's the 2, which means that's the 2. Which means that that has to be the 1. And that means that's all part of that. So there's 9 there. And that's 1 at the end, that's 1 at the end, that's 2 at the end, that's 3 at the end, that's 2 there, and that's those accounted for there. So 12, yep, that's that accounted for. Oh, this is going quite well. So it's almost certainly has to be part of the 6. Yep. Okay, and that's part of the 2 there. So these can't be part of the 3, so that has to be part of the 3. Oh my god, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, which means 4, 5, 6, and that's that there. Okay, so 1 gap, 1 gap. Yep, that's all taken care of. And there's going to be 2 up there, which means that's taken care of, and that's going to be 3, and that's going to be a gap, and that's going to be all fine there, and that's going to be that, and that's all fine too, and that's definitely the 2, which means these are the 3, which means one of these 2 that I'm highlighting here is a 1, but I will not know which one is which. So let's have a little look-see, if I can tell. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's part of the 5 there. And if that's 3 and there's 1, and that tells me they are also 3. Okay, so 3, 4, 5. That has to be that. That has to be the 1, which tells me that's 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and gap, gap, oopsie daisy, gap, gap, gap. Okay, let's have a little look what else we've got. So that's going to be a 2, which tells me that they are blank, which tells me that is the 1, tells me one of these 2 is 1. And if that's got a 5, then it tells me they're not something, it tells me that's not something. So if we know that there's a 2 there followed by a 1, and that's all taken care of, and it tells me that's going to be the 3 there, and that tells me that has to be the 1, which tells me that is that, and what else? We've got a 2 in the middle there, so we're almost done. So that has to be part of something, that can't be part of anything, and that's going to be that. Oh, I've gone wrong somewhere. Oh, hang on. Boom. And that's how it's done. So I'm going to try and work out what's going wrong on the video chat in a little while, but it looks like this is all playing out. So that was a picture of that character somehow. Let's been unlocked. 2 more to do on here. I've done the hardest one. Might do this and then call it a game on this, just because the chat's not working. That's a bit of a bummer. But no, I don't want to use it. Oh yeah, let's play it. Sorry, but let's not use the chat roulette. What am I talking about? The hint roulette, the chat thing. Hint roulette, and I'll try and get the chat working when I start this again. 1 gap, 1 gap, 1 2 3 4. Because if I go 1 gap, 1 gap, 1 2 3 4, so I know that's something precisely in the middle there. So if I was to count off here, I go 1 2 gap, 1 2 3 gap, then it'd be 1 gap, 1 2 gap, 1 gap, 1 2 1 gap, 1 2. So that's definitely something. Because I know that this is going to have 3 in it and a 2, I go 1 2 gap, 1 2 3 1 2 3 gap, 1 2. So that's how it is all done. So because there's 6 there, that tells me that has to be part of the 6, because otherwise that'd be 7, which tells me that's not anything. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 gap. Was that, am I right? 1 gap, 1 2 gap, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Yes. So that makes good logical sense. So there could be 1 2 gap, 1 2 3 4 there. Okay, where's something really obvious that will help demystify this whole board for me? So that will have 6 gap, 1 gap, 1 2 3, and there could be 1 2 3 there, so it's definitely not that. So I go 1 2 3 gap, 1 gap, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So that's something else which is demystified for me. So 1 gap, 1 2 3 4 doesn't clear it that up at all, but I know that that's got to be a 1. And because there could be 3 and a 3 there, that doesn't. Oh, this is going to be a slightly more long-winded level than the last one. This has got 8 in it, so that'd be 6, 7, 8, which tells me that they are something. But that hasn't helped me too much, because it goes 1 gap, 1 gap, 1 2 3. So it hasn't told me terribly much at all. This one could go 1 gap, 1 gap, 1 gap, 1 2 3 4 5, so that could be right in the middle of it. Doesn't clear things up. That could be 4 above there. Hasn't cleared things up at all. Hasn't cleared things up. Oh dear. So, what are we going to do? 1 gap, 1 2 gap, 1 2 3 4. Nothing cleared up. What am I missing? What haven't I pieced together? So that's definitely part of that. Nothing's clear up yet. So it's got a 4. No, that doesn't clear anything up. Gosh, I don't want to use the hints. What am I missing, guys? So 1 2 3 up there. And that can have 1 gap, 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4. So that tells me that's part of the 3. That doesn't. It's like one square filled in, but it doesn't clear anything up at all. So we need to hit this hard somewhere. Gap 1 2 3. This is a tricky level. Let's see how we can get it a bit demystified. So it was a lot easier when I was playing Resident Evil. I've been playing Resident Evil 3, and that's a lot clearer. So what should I do here, guys? What have I missed? So I know that can be 1 gap, 1 gap, 1 2 3, but that doesn't help me. So that could be 1 2 gap, 1 2 3. Wait a minute, so that's going 1 2 3, that could be there, and that could be there theoretically. So that doesn't clear anything up. But can this have 1 gap, 1 2 3 4 gap, 1 2? So this has to be one of the part of 3, obviously. 1 2 3, 1 2 3. That clears that up. That doesn't. So that has to be part of the 2, which means that's nothing. See, I knew it'd be solved. Easy peasy now. So 1 2 gap, 1 2 3 4 1, 2, 3, 4, which tells me that's the 3, which tells me that's the 1, which tells me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which tells me that's the full 6 there, which tells me that's something as well, which tells me this is part of the 4, which tells me that's a 2, and we're off to the races. But will we hit another dead end anytime soon? I hope not. Like, I genuinely hope not. All hope is not lost yet. So, if that is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, gap 1, 2, 1, 2, gap 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's have a look what else we can establish from this section over here. So that's definitely part of the 2. Okay, so there's going to be 1, and that could be 1, 2, 3. And that's 1 there, which tells me that's part of that. Which tells me 1, gap, 1, 2, 3 could still be there. I know that's part of 1 as well. So, there could still be 3 there. Still got some work to do. We're not quite off to the races yet. There's lots of 1s, which are a little bit more fiddly to figure out in the midst of all this. 1, gap, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. What haven't I worked out? Okay, so that's what I hadn't worked out. So that's definitely part of the 2, which tells me that that's part of the 4. And that's a 1, so that doesn't actually help anything there. But if there is 4 there, and I've already got 4 established... Oh, what are we doing? Siri, I was not speaking to you. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, Thor. 3, Thor. I've got the Thor lip. Didn't mean to say Thor, I meant to say 4. So if that's 1, that tells me that's 2, 3. And that doesn't clear that up any. Gosh. It's just like a slow burn, this one, isn't it? This music is like kind of spooky that they've got on it. Aha, so that has to be part of that 3. That doesn't clear anything else up there. 2, 3, 4. Which tells me that's part of the 3 still. Can't say if that's part of the 2. There's nothing that cuts off which it helps with. So that's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could be the gap there. So, okay, let's have a look what else is going on. So that tells me that's part of the 2, which tells me that's part of that 4. 1, okay, so that's still not cleared up, but that tells me that is the 3. Which tells me that's going to be the 1, gap, 1, 2, gap, 1. 1, gap, 1, 2, gap, 1. So that's definitely part of the 2. But I need to get a bit more clarity. So that's definitely a 1 on its own. So that's something. Oh, that tells me that's definitely the 1, which tells me that's definitely 1 on its own there. Definitely part of the 2. So if that's 1, then there's going to be 2, gap, 1, 2, 3. That still isn't cleared up any. But that can't be 2. But because there's only 1s there, it doesn't clear it. Slow burn level, this one. Slow burn. Okay. God, considering I've worked out almost the entire left side of the board, I've got to wonder how I have not figured out more of it. Okay, so let's try and work this out now. So there's definitely 1, and that could be 2 and 3 there, or that could be part of it. But there's going to definitely be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the clue here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're definitely part of the 5. They still only clear 1s. Still only clear 1s. So that could be 1, and that could definitely be 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. But that might count that, because I've only ticked off 2. So 1, gap, 1, gap, 1, gap, 1, gap, 1. See, it could be that still. Hasn't clarified, or demystified any of it. So I'm just going to try typing something into the chat myself. Hello. Right, where am I missing? Left side of the board, right side of the board? Where do I need to do this? So hopefully the chat is working, because I need help here, guys. I can't see where I need to be. Where do I need to count off? Because that could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I only do things if I think they're absolutely correct. 1 gap, 1, 2, aha, 1 gap, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's clarified that, so I know that's part of a 3. I don't know which part of the 3 it is, but if that's going to be 1 gap, 1, 2 gap, 1, now that's helped things a bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which means that's definitely nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that hasn't helped tremendously, but I know that's now part of the 1. So that tells me that's part of 3, 4, 5, 6, which tells me that's part of 1, and that's just going to be 1 on its own, and that's 1 on its own as well. So it's very slow build, this level, isn't it? Let's have a look. What else? What other clues are we missing? So that's... aha, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They definitely can't be anything. So that's filled in the blank, the negative space on the board a little bit more. What else do I need to get here? So once again, I'll say this is Extreme Improv presents the Games Monster podcast live and XStreamed. So, do you like Picross? Put it into the chat if you do. If you don't, tell me what type of games you would like to see me play. And if you'd like to see any multiplayer games, maybe able to work out a way of doing that with other people online, like I was trying to do Tetris 99 earlier. I might say that I'm playing Tetris 99 to some of you out there, but I apologise for not playing that right now. Let's have a quick look. Where have I missed? So 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't tell me anything. No way of clarifying that or that. So that's probably part of the 5, but I can't be certain about it. Could be lots of 1s across there. So if I go 1 gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, doesn't clarify it. Got to be something. What am I missing? What have I not seen that I need to spot? I don't want to use the hint thing. 1 gap, 1, 2, 3. So there was something. So that's part of the 4. So if that has to then be part of the 3, I can then go 2, 3, and I know that they are nothing. That's helped. That's definitely helped, because I can now go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they've only clarified 2 more squares. But I can go 1 gap, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's definitely 1 there. So if that's 1, then it could be. If that's part of the 4, then it would be that one. But I don't know that for certain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hasn't cleared that up any. So I can also go 1 gap, 1, 2, 3, gap, 1, 2. So that doesn't tell me anything there. Slow level this time, guys. I'm sorry about this. I'm trying to get this figured out, but I'm not quite sure what it is I am missing. What am I missing? So, cause that could be 1, 2, gap, 1, gap, 1, gap, 1. So it's not clarified there. 1 bit. Not even a snipsy bit. Oh, so there's 4 there, but that might include that. Is this going to make me take a stab in the dark? There is one of the Tetris games, not Tetris, Picross games, made me take a stab in the dark, and I didn't appreciate it. Aha! So that's definitely a 1, because there are only 1s there. That doesn't actually help clarify anything, because there's only 1s here. It's just going to be slow looking for the clues and picking out things that I've missed. So I know it's going to be 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is definitely useful. That is definitely useful because I know that's 1 there. Okay, so that tells me 1, 2, gap, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's excellent. That has helped a little bit more. So that's definitely 1, gap, 1, 2, 3. Or that could be 1, 2, 3, gap, 1, 2. So it's only helped little bits at a time. 1, 2, 3. That's also helped because that tells me that's a 1. I know that's going to be part of the 3, but I don't know precisely how much. So if that's part of the 3, then I could go gap, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is now clarified that a little bit more. But that could still be up to there. It's tricky, isn't it, guys? So 1, 2. Yes, this has helped because that's definitely part of that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, which means that's not anything. That's definitely part of the 2, which means 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's definitely part of the 2, which tells me that's 2. And tells me that's 1, which tells me that's nothing, and that's part of the 4. 1, 2, 3. And if that's 3, that's the 3 now complete. We should be able to start getting this all finished off soon now. Because there's so much done, yet it's been like a slog the whole way. Like a non-stop schlep. So there's probably 1, 2 there, but I don't know for certain. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 gap, 1 gap, 1 gap, 1 gap. So there's 2 in there, which tells me that these have to be the other 2, which tells me that's that. Then 1 gap, 1 gap, or it could be 1 gap, 1 gap. With what I've now clarified. So 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, 3. So can I do 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, 3? Yes, I can. Still tricky. There's, oops. So, in fact, there's only 5 left, which tells me that's part of the 5, which tells me they're not anything. In fact, I know that's something. Why couldn't I tell that earlier? Maybe I hadn't got that one. So, what's that going to be? So I've got 1, 2 more, but then there could be 2 up here. So there's 3, and 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. There's lots of options that could still be. It's got 4 options, but 2 of them I've definitely already got. That's where it's a little bit misleading on this game. Let's have a little look-see what we've got, see. So that could be the 1. So if I went like that, it tells me it's the 1, but that might not be correct. Because that could be 2, 3. So it can leave you thinking... tired. It can leave you thinking you've done something right where you might have actually made a mistake. I hate when you do a level for a long time and you suddenly realise that something is absolutely wrong, which may have caused a chain reaction you loads wrong before you realise overall. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What I could never do is look at all these 1s and realise, well, they all have to be 1s there, because that is trying to compute too much just based on the numbers at the side. Okay, there's got to be some way of being able to tell, because that could be 1 gap, 1 gap, 1, 2. It's getting tricky. 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, 3. No way of knowing that. 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, gap, 1, 2. No way of knowing. Except for I now know that's the 2. I now know that's the 2. So that's good. So if that's the 2, it tells me that's the 1. If that's the 1, it tells me that's the 4. And if that's the 4, Aha, that has to be part of the 4, which means that the other 2 are in there somewhere, which tells me that's the 1. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, tells me that's not anything, which tells me they're not anything, which tells me 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, it tells me they're 1, 2, and tells me they are all nothing. So anyone who doesn't know how to play this game, watching it, this is perhaps not the biggest tutorial in terms of clarifying absolutely everything, but I think you could watch this and gather how the whole mechanics work. So they are definitely nothing, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then if that's part of the 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, tells me that's not anything, tells me that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yarp. It's amazing when you get all the side clarified like this. So that one has to be something, which means that's nothing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. All right. So, because I've got the 4 there, that's even more clarified. And that tells me that has to be part of that 3, which tells me that has to be part of that 3, which clarifies that. Almost done now, guys. Almost done. 20 minutes on this one level. That's absolutely insane. 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, gap, 1, 2. So that's clarified there. So they have to be part something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so that can't be 1, 2. So that tells me that that has to be there. Should have already been able to tell that. Tells me I've got the 1 there already. And is there anything more I need to be able to tell here? Ooh. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't know which one. It can't be that. Which tells me one of these 2 is definitely that one. Tells me that's definitely part of the 6, which tells me that's definitely the 2. And that tells me that's definitely the 3. And that's nothing. Absolutely nothing there. Absolutely nothing. Okay, so that is that. Which means that's nothing, which means that's something. Which means that's nothing, which means that's something. Finally did it. 22 minutes. I bet someone can speedrun this in like 4 minutes. Well, how would you ever know if they've not just learned the layout? Not wanting to mistrust someone. Okay, so my plan was let's finish off this one. So this should probably also take a while, but hopefully it'll be quicker because it's definitely a bigger level. But I'm not going to use the hint roulette. Memory has been unlocked. Okay, so let's see, where have we got something easy to clarify? Here, 1, 2, 3, gap 1, gap 1, 2, gap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That wasn't easy. So 1, 2, gap 1. Okay, so there's 4 lots of 2. So 1, 2, gap 1, 2, gap 1. Oh, hang on. I'm going so badly. 1, 2, gap 1, 2, gap 1, 2, gap 1, 2, gap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all I could clarify. Wow. So I know that's going to be part of the 6 there, so that's also clarified. So 1, 2, 3, which means that can't be part of anything. So if I start this side, 1, 2, gap, which tells me 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because over here, if I go 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, which means that's a 5, which is a big get for this, frankly. Okay. So if that's part of the 6, gap, 1, 2, gap, 1, gap, that means 1, 2, 3 is definitely there. If that's part of the 4, we already knew that. So if I go 1, gap, 1, gap, 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, don't know for certain if that's something or not, but I can go here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm clarifying lots right there. Because it's all, this is like excellent if you want to keep your brain going, because it's all just maths and logic and counting things out. And I probably do it in a very slow way. I don't claim, I can't even speak, don't claim to be great at maths. But let's see what I can do to keep the old brain going. So look, that's definitely part of the 2, and we know that's part of the 5. So it's going to be either 1, 2, or 1, 2, or 1, 2, which means 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, so it's gap, 1, 2, gap, 1, 2. They are completely clarified. That tells me that's not anything, because there can only be a 2 there. Which again, that should help open things up a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because they have to be part of the 7. And that can't be a 2 there. So that's opened things up a bit. And that's going to have to be a 1. My goodness. So if I got 1, 2, 3, gap 1, so that could be 1, 2. Can't say that for certain. Let's see, do I have any more comments coming through? Let's just see, because I can't see over here. Bom, 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 ba da 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 da. Right. Oh, no, just as soon as I click something, I get something else coming through. Okay. I've literally only started streaming recently, and I'm enjoying it so far. It's fun. It's nice to be able to connect with people as you play games and find games that other people like to play, and you can learn about stuff. 1, 2, 3, gap, 1, gap. So that could have the 1 in it, so I can't write that off. 1, gap, 1, gap, 1, 2, gap. So it tells me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I can't say for certain. Can't say for certain there. That's going to have a 3. That's going to have a 4. Oof. So that's definitely got a 4. So that's part of the 6 that goes along there. That's clarified. Crikey, mate. I can't tell. I cannot tell. I don't understand. Where could clarifiers be? So, in fact, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good to know. That's something. We're not quite off to the races yet, but 1, 2. So that could be part of the 4. So if I go 1, 2, gap, 1, gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, gap, 1, 1, doesn't tell me anything. Why is this so difficult? 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, 3, gap, 1, 2, gap, 1, 2. Doesn't tell me anything. Doesn't tell me anything. Here's got to tell me something. So 1, gap, 1, gaps, 1, 2, 3, gap, 1, gap, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, aha. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, gap 1, gap 1, 2, 3, doesn't mean I've clarified anything. Because you've got to be certain. Otherwise, you could just be wasting your time. I can't see what to do. What can I do? 1, 2, 3, gap 1. Gap 1, 2. Don't want to take any stabs in the dark. Okay, let's press this button. So apparently I can check something on this right. So 1, gap 1, gap 1, 2, gap 1, 2, gap 1, 2, which means that's something as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if that's 2, yeah, so I just need to look for things that can't exist. 1, 2, 3, 4. So where have I got things that cannot be? Sometimes it's easy to get things that aren't anything, but let's see if there's places where there is something. Wowzers. Okay, so apparently here I can tell something. 1 gap, 1, 2, 3, gap, 1, 2, 3, gap, 1, 2, 3. Gap 1, 2, 3, gap 1, 2, 3, gap 1. Really? So gap 1, 2, 3, gap 1, 2, 3. So if that's, oops, 1 gap 1, 2, 3, gap 1, 2, 3, gap 1, 2, 3. Has that really helped to anything though? I'm really stuck on this level. 1 gap. Well, let's just leave this on. Gonna leave it on. You know, other things, other games to play in life. So 1 gap 1, 2 gap 1, 2, 3 gap 1, 2, 3. So gap 1, 2, 3 gap. Ooh. So gap 1, 2, 3 gap 1, 2, 3. Oh no, it's gap 1, 2. 1 gap 1, 2. So if I go like gap 1, 2, 3, gap 1, 2. See, it could have been that. So gap 1, 2, gap 1, 2, 3. And if I go 1 gap 1, 2 gap 1, 2, 3, so it has to be there. Which apparently now tells me something here. 1, 2 gap 1, 2, 3, 4. Gap 1. See, that's what I mean. Look, 1 gap 1, 2. Gap 1 gap. So it tells me that 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 gap 1, 2, 3, 4. Aha. Which tells me that that cannot be something. Which tells me that cannot be something. Which tells me that has to be something. Which tells me that has to be the 3. And if that's the 3, then that's the 1. And if that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okie dokie. So 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, 3, gap, 1, 2, gap, 1, 2. 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, 3, gap, 1, 2, gap, 1, 2. That I don't agree with. This is a perfect example of something amiss there, because I could go 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, gap, 1, 2. Or I could go 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, 3, and then that's gap 1, 2, gap 1, 2. That isn't clarified. This is incorrect. But if that's part of the 3, and that has to be part of another 3, 2, 3, that's definitely a gap. So if I go 1, gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, gap, 1, 2, gap 1, gap 1, so 1, gap, 1, gap, 1, 2, gap, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, because 1, gap, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's part of the 3, then that's definitely nothing. That's definitely something there. Tell me that's nothing. 1 gap, 1, 2, so that's definitely a 3. That's 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, 3, gap, 1. 1 gap, 1, 2, 3. Gap 1, 2, 3. That's good. That's great. So it's going to be 1 gap, 1 gap, 1, 2. Then, oops, that could be something, but that has to be the 5. That's what it means. So if there's 4 there, that's definitely that, which means that can't be a 2. So that has to be something, at least 2. But from the position, that's that, which tells me that that is that. Which tells me that's 3, 4, 5 gap. And that's 1, and then 4. And that's 3. And that's 4. And that's clear as well. One, and that's 3. And that's 2. That's going to be 2, and that's going to be 4. Whee, that's good. That's 6, that's 2. That has to be then for, therefore, the 1. We are well and truly off to the races. 3, 4, 5, so they're definitely nothing. Two, 3, 4. Okay. That's nothing. 1, 2, 3. Gap. So 1 gap, 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3 gap, 1, 2. And that's nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 gap, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's nothing. 1, 2, 3 gap. Coolness. That's the 2, which means that's the 3. So I know that has to be nothing. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, it makes it far too easy with the chat. I just keep looking at the chat to talk to you guys with the hint thing not on. So if I go 1 gap, 1, 2, that's clarified there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 2, which means that can't be the 2, which tells me that has to be the 4. Which tells me 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, 3, 4. Which tells me that's nothing. That can't be part of something, that has to be part of something. Okay. So, I just want to get this done. Come on. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, gap, 1, 1, gap, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2. So that's so far so good. Very close to the end of this level now. 1, 2, and that's 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's that sorted. And then that might be 2, 3. That could be. Ooh, can't tell yet. So let's hold fire on that. 1, 2, 3. Gap. 1, 2. Gap. 1, 2. 1, 2. Gap. 2, 3. 2, gap, 1, 2, 3. So that's definitely the 2 there, which tells me that's the 2 there. Tells me that's not anything, which tells me that's a 3, and that's a 2, and that's a 1. And that's a 4, and that's therefore a 2, and that's a 2. Nope. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. See how this puzzle can wrap itself up. So that's locked up there. 1, 1, so that can't be anything. So that's 1 gap, 1, 2. That's that taken care of. 1 gap, 1, 2. So that's that taken care of. So I'm going to give a shout out, if you're watching this, to check out some of the other videos that we've got on Extreme Improv, including the Jet Lagged and Loving It series and the Jet Lagged and Loving It podcast, which is a spin-off. And myself and Rachel Jane discuss all of the places we've been on our many travels. Our most recent podcast, we speak about being in Kyoto in Japan, which is one of my favourite places I've ever been to in my entire life. I'd love to go back there, like, right now. We've also got the Extreme Improv podcast Radio Rumble, which is like our Extreamed shows, except for they were recorded before lockdown, where multiple people are all in the same room together to play improv games, and they're good fun. So 1, yeah, 1, 2, 3. That's that clarified. That's that clarified. Which means that's clarified, which means that's clarified, which means that's clarified, and that's clarified, and that's clarified, which means that's clarified, and that's clarified. So most of that's now taken care of, and that's taken care of. 1, 2, 3, 4, which means they're taken care of, which means that's taken care of, and they're taken care of, and that's all done, and they're all done. And that's okay, and that's okay, and therefore she's done. Ta-da! What is that picture? What is that picture? A Karjit. So him. Oh my god, that doesn't look anything like him. Okay, so I'm going to stop this playthrough now. I want to thank anyone who has been watching, and just say this is the Extreme Improv channel, and you've been watching the Games Monster XStreamed, because this is a spin-off of the Games Monster podcast that's out from Extreme Improv. And so there's spin-off of spin-offs nowadays. So do keep an eye out for what else we've got coming up. We've got some live improv comedy shows at 8:30 PM UK time, and they will be on Wednesday and Thursday night. We might do another matinee. Oh my gosh, why is it talking to me? This whole like storyline is playing out. I love the drawing on this character, but all of our podcasts, all of our live streams, all of our live shows when the world comes back to normal, you can find out about all of them and so much more at www.extremeimprov.co.uk. And that is me done for now. So until next time, thank you so much.